Welcome. I want to talk about some keys to a great experience in your summer online class. We'll talk about the importance of an instructor introduction, course expectations, giving your learners their teacher expectations, the importance of tutorials, where they can get tech help and how that helps you. We'll talk about the 3 levels of student engagement and the importance of having an initial quiz in your online class. First, the instructor introduction. A primary complaint of students in an online class is not feeling that connection to the instructor. An introduction lets you establish rapport, lets them know that this isn't a class that's being taught by a robot, but that there's an HSU professor in this course, and it lets them establish that relationship and start building on that right away. There's 2 forms of introductions. One can be done by a video and the other can be done by announcement. I prefer, and I think a best practice is that you incorporate a video announcement, but we'll let you choose and we'll show you options for both. An introduction also lets them know how they can address you by email, or perhaps if they're going to be interacting with you synchronously. Do they call you doctor, professor, instructor? And that helps. I always ask students to call me Dr. H. It recognizes the formality and the role, but it also is a little bit more of an term of endearment. So they know what to call me, and that's established right at the beginning. It also lets them know how you administer your course. Do you check it once a day, several times a day, and what can they expect from you in return? It also provides an opportunity for you to let them know why you love and are passionate about this course and this university, but more importantly, about them. If you're going to make an instructor video, there are several options here at Hardin-Simmons that you can use. One is the One Button Studio, and that's located in our library on the 2nd floor. The other is your own smartphone device. You can use that to hold it in your hand or have a spouse or friend record you and drop that into your course. You can also use our embedded screencast system where you can also make a video, and that's Kaltura, and that's embedded right in Blackboard. And there's also a thing we have called Swivel, where you can take your smartphone and the swivel, which is on a tripod, and make an on-location video anywhere. But the options are your One Button Studio, you've got a smartphone, you have Kaltura, and you have other video options that you may have personally. Talking about course expectations, it's always appropriate at the beginning of your course, and this can be done in a video or this can be done through the LMS, to let them know what the ground rules are. What are the policies? What happens if I'm late with an assignment? And what is the etiquette? Is there a particular way, since I'm taking an online course, that's appropriate to interact? What's not appropriate? How do I best reach you? How long can I expect? And it's always helpful in perhaps your introduction or somewhere in the LMS to have course expectations. Where do I go if I have tech issues? We'll cover that later in Tech Help. But this is a place to set expectations for what's going to happen, when it's going to happen, how it's going to happen, and the pros and cons of their behavior in the online course. There's also teacher expectations. On a daily basis, how will you communicate to students when you'll be active in the course? I'm a morning person, so I'll be in a course from 6 to 7 or 6 to 8 every morning. And since it's a summer online class, I'll be doing the bulk of my work then, but I'll also be checking email and doing some light work in the evening. Or the opposite, I'm a night owl, so I'll be in the course typically from 9 until 11 p.m. And in the morning, I'll check it and answer email and perhaps check discussions and things like that. It lets them know what the expectations are, when you'll be active in the course, but it also sets some boundaries so you don't have to feel like you're going to be available 24/7, and they won't expect you to be available 24/7. So it lets you and them expect and establish some boundaries. Grading expectations. How in a summer online class long can they expect coursework to be turned around? In a 15-week class, they may take an exam or turn in a paper on Monday and have it back by the next Monday, or perhaps later in the week. This is a much more condensed version, so will it be 24 or 48 hours that they can expect to get some feedback? So that's on a daily basis and on a weekly basis. I let them know that they can expect to hear from me at the beginning of every week or at the beginning of every module. I'll give them a welcome to the week. I can tell them what they're doing well, what they did well in a previous week, what they're doing well, how they really did a good job in a particular assignment, or what they may have missed and need to emphasize what's coming up. And just giving them a personal touch. Hi, I'm here. I'm in this course. I'm with you. A little bit of an orientation to the week and what my expectations are. I may throw in a picture. If I do a written announcement, I might throw in a picture of me, what I'm doing this summer, working on a project. Here I am in the backyard with my kids, or here we are at the beach, or something like that, that continues to build that relationship, and they can see me in my natural environment, if you will. But on a daily basis, I let them know what to expect from me as a teacher, and then on a weekly basis, when they can expect to see me and what support that they can expect to get from me. On a more granular level with assignments, I like to provide tutorials. And I often provide a tutorial at the beginning of my course, and sometimes for particular assignments that may be a little trickier, a little bit more involved. I always like to have a screencast as an option for my students at the beginning of the course. There are varying levels of experience in an online class from your student. They may be their first class, or it may be beneficial even if they've taken online classes before, to kind of let them know how to find their way around in a course. And I like to do screencasts for assignments that may have detailed instructions. For example, this may be the first time they're going to use a VoiceThread or particular piece of technology that I'm going to require, or how to upload your first assignment, and then you can kind of take it from here. Anything that you think may be challenging for a student, I like to put in a screencast, and it shows them the navigation and builds their confidence. And I like to have a tutorial because it lets them focus on the academic product, not the technological process. Where to go for tech help? You want to get tech questions off your plate, so to speak, that so you can use your expertise where it's most needed. I always let the students know that where they can go to email, to phone, or to go online to access their student services page on our online website. Three ways that students are going to be engaged in an online class. They're going to be engaged with you, they're going to be engaged with their content, and they're going to be engaged with each other. I always have something that provides for a student introduction at the beginning of a course. It can be a discussion, a thread, or it can be a voice thread, or it can be a social media, but something that gets them introducing each other, letting everyone know who's in the class, and allows social relationships to form. And then I like to provide a community space, and it can also be a discussion forum, it could be a Padlet, it can be social media, a place where they can have hallway or casual conversation in the course and stay connected to each other that way. I always like to use the Blackboard feature to have a quiz that asks them two simple questions, and there'll be an example of this if you scroll down here on this resource page, an example of this that you can use. And I may ask them a question as simple as, true or false, you read the syllabus, true or false, you're prepared to succeed in this online class. And that is a little bit of a contract between us that says you have read, you have processed, ingested, and interacted with the material that I've given you to set you up to be successful in this class, and you understand it. And that allows me then, if I see a false, that then I can contact that student and ask where there may be a difficult area or how we can best proceed to set them up to succeed. Again, keys to having a great experience. What will your instructor introduction be? How will you introduce yourself to your students? What will the expectations for your course be? What teacher expectations and teacher behaviors will you let them know that they can expect from you? Are there tutorials or places in your online course that may be challenging to them that you can give them a screencast or further information on how to best navigate? Will you let them know where they can get tech help? What student engagement will you have in your course so that they can get to know each other and build a community in that course, not only with you, but with each other? And will you give them a quiz, and or what other mechanism will you use to affirm them and to confirm that they've interacted with your syllabus and they've understood and examined your expectations for the course and are ready to proceed and have a successful class. I pray that you and our students are blessed by their interaction with you in this class.